Here's some leadership advice. I'm a gymnastics coach. I tell kids what to do all the time, and I'm a coach. So I'm leading people in a direction. I'm helping them transform and change habits and build new foundations for new habits. There's so many areas and pitfalls and ways to mess this entire thing up. So this is what I learned. Quick facts. Okay. Directional words. That's it. Directional words. That's the game changer for you. All right. If you're in a position where you want to be moving in a specific direction, you're trying to achieve a goal, trying to get somewhere, it's all about directional words. What do I mean by this? Every word we use has a direction. But the problem is that a lot of our words do not align with the direction we are actually going. Quick example of this would be like, if I tell somebody to try harder, trying harder doesn't dictate whether I actually will achieve my goal or not. Trying harder just means I'm going to put in more energy and effort, but it doesn't tell me which direction to put that energy and effort. So trying harder is not directional. It is just a vague thing that's like, well, maybe by happenstance you will actually get what we want if you try harder. But trying harder doesn't guarantee you're actually going to reach your objective. Move faster. Moving faster in what specific? And so directional words have to be more intentional, and they have to be connected with the future. So it's not about connecting with the past. A lot of our directional words that we use are past driven. And again, I'm not going to label that as a direction because you can't go backwards in time. So if I don't have the ability to time travel, then my words and direction can only be moving forwards into time, not backwards into time. So when we talk about past things like, don't do this, don't do that, we're all connecting it to the past. Well, connecting to the past, I don't need to go back to the past, and I don't need to reflect on the past. I need to know, what do I need to do now to get where I want to go in the future? And that's the power of having directional words. Another quick example is like when chaos enters your life. Like you have just a lot of chaos going on, and we're grabbing for control, and people are like, I'm a control freak, and we got control problems, okay? That's not the issue. The issue is we want to be moving in a certain direction. And so, but we don't know what words to be using to actually achieve that direction. And so instead of thinking about our words that matter right now and then matter in the next moment, what we start doing is just grasping for everything because we don't know what we're supposed to be holding on to. What we should be holding on to is the directional words. What can I accomplish right now? What words do I need to be using to accomplish that right now? And then what words should I be using to accomplish the next moment and the next moment? Current example in my life is like we have a situation going on where we could get swept away as a family thinking about what needs to happen in a week from now. But I really only need to worry about what needs to happen today and worry about what needs to happen tomorrow. And so the words coming out of my mouth need to only be concerned about what is happening today and tomorrow and not the problems of next week. Because those problems are not here. The problems of today and tomorrow are confronting me. And so my directional words are saying, Raleigh, how do I want to handle and confront these current situations, and what type of words do I want to be having? So directional words is more about what can I do now, today, where am I going? So as a gymnastics coach, I might tell an athlete to point their toes. Pointing their toes is not directional enough, because if the direction is point your toes because the coach told you to, then the reality is that the athlete is performing for you. Is that what I want from a competitive athlete? Do I want the competitive athlete to perform for the coach, or do I want them to perform for themselves for the sake of competition? And it's like, well, I want them to perform for themselves for the sake of competition. And so in that case, then what I need to be connecting is the pointed toes to their end goal. Do you want to win? Yes, that's a direction. Do you want to win? Yes. Okay, point your toes. Now we've added direction to pointed toes. Okay, do you want to get first place? Then this is what you need to do to get first place. Now there's a direction to it. It's the same thing as when parents get frustrated with their child and they're just like, because I said so. Because I said so is not directional enough. Like, nobody cares about what you had to say right now in the moment. There's a because I said so, who cares? Because that moment is over, and now I need to worry about the next moment. And so because I said so is not directional enough. Does it shut down the direction of movement? Absolutely. It hinders the direction of movement. It shuts people down, but it doesn't put them in a direction. And that is so key to understanding how to manage anxiety, because anxiety is basically not knowing where to move in the future, what direction to move in the future, what control you have for the future. And so there's the state of anxiety because I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. Put people in a direction, put them on a path, send them in a specific direction, watch them go in that direction, allow them to measure themselves, recover from their failures, grow, and keep moving in a specific direction. Be intentional. Cut out all the distractions. Like, there's so many distractions happening when people are moving in a specific direction that come up. And part of having directional words is to realize that the things that are coming in, bombarding you on a daily basis, if they're getting in the way of your direction and the words that you are using, then you do not need to deal with them today. Deal with them at another time. And that's prioritizing the effort and energy you have to expel in a day. You've only got so much energy and effort to give in a day. And because you only have so much energy and effort, you can't take on all the problems. Take on the problems that move you forwards today, that move you closer to your goal for tomorrow. You wake up and you go, I'm depressed, I have anxiety, I'm frustrated. Listen to the words you're saying on a daily basis about problems, conflict. Analyze how those words are directionless, or they're focused on the past, or they're focused on things you have no control over. And then realize that you don't even have a clue where you want to go tomorrow. Like, you don't even know where you were trying to get to. And yet you're waking up every single day living these life cycles, and yet you have no idea where you are headed. And it's a little funny game of where am I headed, because every single day is a new start. If you look at it this way, is every single day you wake up is a new version of you. Then you get to decide where you want to go again, and you get to decide where you can refresh. It's like a death and rebirth on a daily basis. The old you just died. Yesterday's dead. Today is you now. What do you want to do with it? If you have direction with your words, you are more likely to achieve that outcome over time. If you lack that direction, then you're just going to find that chaos is going to sweep you away like a river, and you're going to get lost out to sea in just this chaotic sea, not understanding how you got where you got and not knowing how to get out of it. And the moment you say, this is what I'm going to do today, and you're very intentional with your words and with the direction that they're taking you, and you teach other people how to do that, pretty soon productivity, results, outcomes start showing up. And I would say that what I'm telling you right now is very close to like all the gimmicky, woo-woo, self-help, blah, blah people who are like all about law of attraction and your words have power and blah, blah, blah. It's not magical. It's not magical at all, okay? If you wake up in the morning and you tell yourself, I got 5 minutes to make myself breakfast, chances are you're gonna try to make yourself breakfast within 5 minutes. And if you don't, then you failed. But now you're giving yourself direction, and you're putting movement to that direction. And so we're going to follow the words that come out of our mouth. And so if every time there's a problem and we're like, man, then we're moving ourselves in that direction of constantly frustrated with problems. And then you're gonna find out you're gonna be constantly frustrated with problems, which this depletes your emotional energy and gets you tired all the time. And if conflict is an inconvenience to you, then you're gonna find yourself getting into these moments where you're just so irritated and pissed off because conflict is a constant inconvenience. And if you look at conflict as an opportunity to exercise your skill set, you're actually serving the conflict, you're actually bringing something to the table to dismantle this conflict and move everybody in another direction. If you look at it as a way to promote yourself, then all of a sudden it's like, bring conflict on. I got a skill set I want to add to this conflict, because life is just like water flowing through a river where it hits this object and it's got to bounce off, and so the river curves, and then it hits another solid object and then bounce off, and then the river curves. And so that's why these rivers zigzag through the landscape, because they're constantly having to pivot and shift. When you have a skill set and you have directional words, you know where you're going, but you're able to make those pivots and those adjustments because you're hitting this wall. The directional words will take you to where you need to go. It's not as scary anymore. It's not as scary anymore. And so understanding, what do I need to say? What direction do we need to be moving in? When I talk to people who I know nothing about, I oftentimes just ask them, where are they headed? Where's their vision? Where do they want to go? Because that gives me an idea of, do their words match where they want to show up at? And if your words don't match where you want to show up, then automatically I can see the discrepancy in somebody's life and see what the problems are. But if your words match where you want to go, okay, Now we're moving someplace. Like there's some energy going in the correct direction. So there you have it. Directional words. It's a 10-minute talk now about directional words, the power of them. But boy, I would love to see some people try to use directional words. Put in the comments, let me know how it impacted your life. And let's start this movement on getting people to use their words in a direction, moving where they want to go, and see how that actually transforms your day-to-day, minute-to-minute life. Have a good day. Peace out. Yo, bye.